Good evening and welcome. Tonight we will be going over the history and geography of Chuvashia in Russia. We are in European Russia tonight. And unfortunately, this is the best map that I have. I have a big map of European Russia, but it slices this in half so you can't see all of it. And you especially can't see the capital city, Cheboksary. So you gotta be able to see at least that, right? So I gotta use the big map of Russia. So Chuvashia looks very tiny. It's a lot bigger than it looks on here, but compared to the rest of Russia, it is very tiny. The most important geographic feature, which is going to be kind of hard to see on this, is the Volga River. You can see it coming down through here past Novgorod and it's making up the border here, flowing by Cheboksary and flowing out toward Kazan. The Volga River, technically the longest river in Europe. The rest of the republic, though, is mostly just forests and farmland located on the Chuvash Plateau. Nothing really significant to discuss in terms of geography. But in terms of history, this is a very interesting little corner of Russia, as it is home to the Chuvash people. They're Turkic people. They've pretty much been here. They've been here longer than Russia has existed. Let's put it that way. They've been here for quite a while. They have their own language, their own cultural dress, everything, music, all of that. They're their own thing, very separate from the rest of Russia. In the 13th century, the Golden Horde came through. Genghis Khan and his spawn, basically, coming through to control the area and wipe out anyone who disagreed with them. But in the 15th century, this area was under the control of the Kazan Khanate. Again, Kazan is just right next door. Ivan the Terrible comes through in 1552. Of course, he's coming from Moscow, basically creating what is now today Russia. And he's here to fight the Kazan Khanate. So the Chuvash people sign a loyalty agreement to him. So when he does eventually destroy the Kazan Khanate and gets all absorbed into what would eventually become Russia, the Chuvash people are part of that. And they're not, the enemy. Their culture is not looked down upon. Of course, there was lots of Russification and such throughout the 16, 17, 1800s, but they were allowed to preserve their own culture and way of life. Cheboksary was a little village at the time of Ivan the Terrible. They built a fort here in 1555, and the rest is history. Chuvashia is an autonomous republic, and this began actually back in 1925. The Soviets, after the dust settled after the Russian Revolution and the Bolshevik War, decided that with the Chuvash, it was probably best just to let them do their own thing and keep their way of life. And that they sure did. But like the rest of the USSR at the time, of course, there was collectivization and such, but I don't think that, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure that life here was a lot better than other parts of the Soviet Union. That's for sure, but it was a lot better than many other parts of the Soviet Union, let's say that. This area was predominantly farmland until after World War II, when of course the switch to industry occurred. Lots of factories and oil processing. Hope I get that right. I'm not confusing that with Bolivia that I just filmed. But lots of different heavy industry occurring here in Chuvashia, which has really made it a target for Ukraine. As we know, Russia, no longer the USSR, now we're in modern Russia, has invaded Ukraine as of 2022. Ukraine, of course, is defending itself as they have the right to do. No country should be invading other countries in this day and age. Ukraine has bombed Chuvashia quite a few times, not nearly as much as other places within Russian borders, but Nevertheless, they have. Most recent one of me filming this was on June 10th, where they're striking power plants and some of those industrial centers that I mentioned. There has been some civilian deaths from Ukrainian bombs, but not, again, not nearly as much as other parts in Russia, and definitely has seen far less conflict than what's been going on in Ukraine. I was watching a little informal travel video about Chuvashia and Cheboksary, and it was interesting how she's like, you'll get text notifications that there's unidentified objects in the sky and just to be wary of them. Yeah, she means like Ukrainian drones and stuff, because of course Russia would never admit that they're at war, very much like my country, the US, will never admit they're at war with Iran right now. But that is basically the situation here. In Chuvashia today, that is a very small history of Chuvashia. Very summed up, but that's pretty much it in a nutshell. What can I say? So why don't I grab my tablets and we'll explore Chuvashia on Google Earth. There's not much to see here because, like I said, there's the city and then the rest is just basically farmland and forests with not much there, but we'll see what we can find. Let's go. Here we are in Chuvashia. And let's, of course, start by zooming out so you can see exactly where we are in the world. Russia is, of course, the biggest country in the world. So we're in a very tiny corner of a very big country. Usually I say, this is a tiny corner of a tiny country. This is a tiny corner of a massive country. I think everyone knows where Russia is. It borders many, many, many countries here in Asia and Europe, and stretches across a lot of the globe. But anyway, this is where we are. So we have European Russia on this side and Asian Russia on this side of the Ural Mountains, right? So we are over here. You can see the mighty Volga coming down, making up this northern border here. Or at least most of it. There's a little bit over here. Let's head over to Cheboksary. There's some interesting sights to see in this town. Let me make sure that I have the everything on. Oh, see, I didn't. I would have gotten lost. Starting, of course, at the Chuvash National Museum, which looks like a high school building. Maybe it was. Maybe this was like a Soviet school. But you can see some of the beautiful dress that the Chuvash, at least the women, wear in that sense. Dinosaurs. Look at the little island with little churches on it. How cute is that? Oh, here's one of the many little Soviet-style monuments around. We'll look at a couple of them. So hoping to show you more of the... It's from the FIFA, right? Which the World Cup's going on right now. Was this the World Cup or the Olympics? That was the World Cup. Yeah, because he's holding up football anyway. Yeah, the World Cup's going on right now as I'm speaking in my country, too. Maybe the Embroidery Museum will have some good... Oh, yeah, here we go. Beautiful fabric. They're really big on red and white, like white with red accents on all of them. Of course, in the background, there's a red with white accents, but that's what I've noticed. Lots and lots of red and white and beautiful headdresses. Look at that. That's really stunning. I wonder how old that is. There's a cool map. You can see all the forested areas. Look at this. Oh my goodness, this jewelry is amazing. And headdresses too, with matching, I guess, I don't want to say necklaces, but like neck pieces. What all of the symbols mean on all the clothes. How fun is that? Like secret messages in the embroidery. Spinning wheel right there. Watch out, Sleeping Beauty. More gorgeous jewelry. Little dolls, little small world dolls there. Wearing the traditional. Yeah, this is, I think, the one I wanted to show you so you can see what the clothes look like here. Whoa, that's a little eerie. I don't like those dolls. I do like these medals, though. They're pretty cool. And I can't get over these. These are so neat. These little hats. It is a gorgeous costume, I think. Oh, how cool. That's a neat topiary. You can even sit on it. Look at that. All right. Soviet memorials. There's this one that we saw briefly. Memorial Eternal Flame. Very Soviet style. Pointing out at everyone as looks like they're raising a flag here for soldiers. These pictures aren't loading, but oh, it's pretty. You can see the Volga. Now it's loading. But yeah, but the most famous one is over here. The Mother Patroness Monument. Dun -dun, the arms outstretched over the city. Man, why are these pictures loading lately? This is pretty aggravating. Here it is. Oops. On a snowy day. Looks very cold. There's a matryoshka nesting doll there. There she is, looking out over the city. Near here is the concert hall, which I normally don't show you guys concert halls because it doesn't really have much to do with like history, but here it's like an iconic building in the city because it's very brutalist and evidently, goodness gracious, a lot of Star Wars cosplayers come here because it looks like some kind of base, like some kind of Star Wars style building. I wish there were better pictures of the outside. I thought at first that they were saying that a location was filmed here for Star Wars, and I was like, I didn't think they filmed any in Russia. That seems weird, but no, it's just, it looks like it belongs in Star Wars. That's pretty fun. Oh gosh, what was the other thing? Was it this? Theater? Probably not, but it's got some great statues too. And beautiful art. That might have been it that I wanted to show you in Cheboksary. I love this place. I would spend hours in this embroidery museum just admiring the clothes there. So gorgeous. Here's, of course, the Volga River. Oh, I needed to show you. Ha ha ha, I remember. These pretty churches that we looked at briefly. Oh, and then there's neat photos in the water, too. But yeah, classic little churches. Here they come, slowly but surely. I don't know why it's taking so long for... Come on now. Google Earth to load all of a sudden. And the monastery center over here. But I think you got the gist. Let's see if these will load. Yeah, the pretty waterfront here. You can see that there's some cool fountains creating rainbows. Got some little fountains. Looks like it's going up into the clouds. Looks like Marina Bay Sands or something. Another nesting doll. She's a pretty face. And she's wearing the traditional, like, hat. That's awesome. Yeah, there's some neat pictures out here. I encourage you to, as I always do, to explore this area yourself. The bridges have neat little slideshows. The waterfront over here in the park has neat little slideshows, but man, Google Earth really does not want to cooperate today. There's a beach. Very nice. Look at, there's more of that cool topiary people. It's really cool. I like those. But yeah, I don't really think, so you can see all the farmland. I don't really think I found anything else. I was looking around and I was like, well, maybe I'll get lucky while I'm filming and something cool will pop up. But I kind of doubt that. You can see that this section up here is pretty much just wetland by the looks of it. Little settlements along the coast, maybe some, let me see, another beach. Oh yeah, there we go. Look at the snowy beach. Oof, that's pretty neat. That river must be freezing at that time. But yeah, there's the airport. What's this? What is this? Looks like another cultural museum. What is that? Questionable. There's a cool loom though, and neat statues. More outfits, little cabin there. It looks like, yeah, cultural museum, so you can see how people once lived. Look at looks like oars, some paddles, little radio there, sewing machine, and more of this gorgeous costume. I love these styles, and I love that everything means something. There's secret messages in all the clothes. But yeah, the rest is pretty much just farmland. Let me get the borders back up, just in case. See, I didn't find much. I can see forest over here. Let's see. Little cabin. Oh, this is nice. Some cool pillar art there. And birdhouses. A little gnome. It's a little gnome. Oh, there's like a Princess Mononoke Guardian of the Forest there. Wonder if it's a little banya or sauna or something there. Cool playground. Neat little bridge over the river. It's a nice little park. Some cool wooden art there in that tree. And a beautiful rainbow over the meadow there. Very nice. But yeah, like I said, not much else. If you know, if there's like, OMG, I can't believe you skipped this. It's so important. Let me know, because this is all that I found. Yeah, I wonder if all the good stuff was in Russian, so Google hid it from me. But that's pretty much all that I found. You can see all the little villages around. But that's pretty much it. So I guess I'll end it there. Why don't we end it with just the main slideshow? Let's see what's there. If it'll load, my goodness, there we go. And we'll wait for a second for it to consider maybe loading the rest. Oh, it's really trying. Pretty. Thank you so much for watching. Orthodox churches are so cool. They're all so distinct, but they all have the little domes. You can like tell what's an Orthodox church, even though they all look completely different. You can clearly tell. It's really neat. But thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this style of content, please consider subscribing. Next, we're going to be heading over to Cuba. I haven't decided yet, because we have 2 places in Cuba coming up, and I haven't decided if I'm going to combine them or make it 2 separate videos. So you'll find out next week what I decide. I'm still scripting them, trying to decide what to do. You'll find out next week. But be sure to subscribe so you won't miss out. Also, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up and let me know all your thoughts down below in the comments. Remember, no disparaging remarks against the Russian people. You can say whatever you want about Russian politicians, but the Russian people here are misinformed, and very much like a lot of people in my country, in the United States. They're being lied to by the government, and history will prove the right side eventually. You know what I'm trying to say. Don't talk badly about Russia or Russians. You can talk badly about politicians, but don't be like, anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. Be nice in the comments. I hope that you found this video to be relaxing and educational, and I hope that you have a good night. Good night. Good night. Good night.